Three special secrets that will make your ideal client appear now. Today's conversation is sponsored by the Billy Keels Advisory Program. If you want to learn more about how to make your 9 to 5 optional, just go to billykeels.com/advising. Once again, that's billykeels.com/advising. These are three special secrets that will make your ideal client appear now. And the reason that I want to share them with you is because the more that you are focused and begin to take decisive action, you'll start to realize that that tunnel vision is the thing that's serving you very, very well to move forward, to progress. And the reason I want to share this with you is because I got it completely wrong in the beginning. I wasted so much time. I went through so much heartache. It wasn't really my fault, I guess, because I was trying to help everybody. And when you try to help everybody, there's a tendency to not be able to help anybody. And so that's really why I'm going to invest some time here to just share a couple stories, maybe one story that's going to help you realize that there are some, like literally three special secrets that will, when you do these correctly and you think them through clearly and you actually take action on them, not only will they make your ideal client appear now, they will also help you to also have whatever it is that you're looking for in your unique concept, more of it will come. If you're looking for more deals, you're looking for more clients, you're looking for more experiences, the more focused you are, the higher the probability of what you want is going to happen. How do I know this? Because like I said, I got it wrong in the beginning. I think about early on in my career, and I think about investing in alternative investments, but that wasn't really it. It was the path that I was on to be in control of my time. But the thing is early on, I also wanted to get to a point where, yeah, I definitely wanted to make money because I'm a person who comes from a working class family. I watched my parents work 2 jobs. It sucked. And so I realized like the way to get out of that was to continue not only to build on the corporate job, but when I started realizing I wouldn't have to work for corporate forever because I maybe didn't want to forever. Liked it, didn't love it. I really, really liked it. And there was this saying that I heard before, and it didn't make a lot of sense at the time, but it was not all money is good money. And I didn't really understand what that meant because I was thinking, well, yeah, all money is good money. But the reality is when you want to serve a particular client and you want to be able to identify them, there's going to come to a point where you're going to have to realize, and it took me a while to realize that, but I started to realize it, that not all money is your money and not all money is good money. And so you have to start to build the criteria. And these are some of the 3 special secrets that I'm going to talk to you about because you're going to get this right. You're going to be able to get to your ideal situation sooner than I did, right? This is me paying it forward to you. One of the things that I realized, especially early on when I started building up so much knowledge and I was starting to have some early success in the investing, and I was starting to realize that, oh my goodness, I can create my own path and I can make my 9 to 9 optional, because that's eventually what happened over that decade. The first 6 years, it was doing all the work. And then those last 4 was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. I really like my job, making a lot of money, getting recognition, going to Hawaii every other year, family's happy. And at the same time, I've got this thing on the side that's covering my optionality number, meaning that I'm going to this job because I want to, not because I have to. But I was so hyped up and so excited about what I was learning that anytime that I realized like I wanted to go from just making these investments to actually beginning to build a business, like as I would approach people or as I would talk to people, like they could smell me coming a mile away, meaning just because I was so excited, I was talking to everybody. It came off as like I'm trying to, like I want you to be a part of my deal. And what I realized about that kind of approach is that wasn't the approach that I took in corporate. So why in the world was I taking that approach as it related to something that I was truly passionate about in terms of building this business? I talked too much, didn't listen enough. And all of these things were going on in the background. And that's why I'm sharing them with you, because I don't want the same thing to happen to you. Like I'm going to give you the 3 special secrets that are going to help your ideal client or the ideal type of opportunities that you're looking for. They're going to start to appear now because you're going to do it right. You're not going to waste the time that I did because you're investing your time here right now. And like I said, yes, I absolutely wanted to make money. And more importantly, I was no inside. I wanted to prove it to myself and prove it to my family that I would be able to do and create and build this business that was going to give me and us control over our time. It was okay making a lot of money at a corporate, but I didn't want to have to ask my boss if I can go on vacation anymore. I was tired of that. I was in my late 30s, early 40s, moving into mid 40s. I didn't want to ask if I could go to the bathroom again. I didn't want to ask if I was allowed to go and see family members for a longer period of time than I was quote unquote allowed. Nothing wrong with it, but I was just kind of getting tired of it. That's where I was in life. And so as I started realizing that I didn't actually have a criteria, I knew that what was working for me. I wanted to start to build this business. And at the time, it was really about having investment opportunities. So it was really being able to share with everybody all the cool stuff that I was learning, all these amazing formulas that had now gone from formulas to now actual activity. And that activity was positive and was progressing. And realizing that, like I said before, coming from a working class family, I had moved from working class family now to many would say upper middle class, some would say upper class family, because of what I was doing in my day job. In the exchange of time for money that I was making, it was pushing me up the quote unquote social ladder. And so all of these things happening, it was just like I wanted to keep talking. I didn't have a criteria. I wanted to just serve people, but I wanted to serve anybody and everybody that would listen to me. Right now, this is some more advanced stuff, but I'm sharing it with you now because you're listening. You're on your path to making your 9 to 9 optional, and you need to know this. I know you want to know it, which is why I'm sharing it with you. Because as I go along and I'm making the movement, I think I've even talked about that in the podcast. If I can remember, I'll come back to it because it's one of those that will definitely be helpful for you. Actually, it's 447, episode 447. How to overcome common struggles with changing social class. But anyway, check out that episode. It will definitely help to add and build on what we're talking about here today. But when I realized that I was in a place that I would speak to anybody and everybody, that was because I had a good heart and wanted to be able to try to help anybody and everybody. But the reality was my ideal client was never appearing because I wasn't calling them. I wasn't letting them know that I had something that would be here to help them. And so it's a really simple 3 things that I want to share with you. And I know maybe in the past I've talked about this in maybe to some larger extent, or maybe I'll do a completely separate episode on this, but I like to think of this around food, right? A lot of this is around food. And you think about there are lots of different types of restaurants, all serving food as their product and providing a service. The goal is to make sure that someone has enough nutrition to get them through whatever the day is. The other question comes into what the experience is like, what the price point is like, what is happening around you while you are eating, right? Because we think about different types of restaurant, everything from a fast food type of restaurant to a casual dining restaurant to a three-star Michelin or Michelin starred restaurant, right? Each one of them serves food. However, the experience they provide, the price point, the individual that they serve are very different. And all those businesses are profitable, right? But what is it that they do differently? And what is it that you are now going to hear? Because these 3 secrets, like when you put them together, this is going to help your ideal client appear now, not in 25 years, but like now, meaning relatively soon, very soon, because you're going to do this over and over and over. You're going to get better, clearer, more focused in terms of the way that you are calling out to your ideal client or looking for the ideal opportunity for you so that you can ultimately control your time. Because once you cover your optionality number, then you're good to go, right? And question any of that kind of stuff, you want to know what optionality number is, I know I'll do more episodes on this, or just connect with me over on LinkedIn. It's a great way to kind of speed up the process. Anyway, so here's the 3 things that I want you to think about because I was not specifically thinking about them. And these will definitely help you to identify your person, your ideal person, and do that quicker. First of all, most people think about, okay, yeah, well, who is this person? What's their name? What's their age? What's their um, social status in life? How much money do they earn? That's important. And so you want to focus on a lot of the different type of information or data that is demographics, those types of things that I just talked to you about. Where do you live? What's the location? What type of job do you have? What industry are you in? How much money do you make? Um, all of these types of things that are going to give you some very clear criteria on, what's your role in an organization. Are you an executive VP? Are you an area VP? Are you a C level? All of these are really important because when you realize who is it that you want to serve, who you want to have your business serve, you need to be clear on that. Then there's another part to this, and this is the second part of what's really important, one of the second part of the secrets. And this is the stuff that most people don't ever spend enough time understanding. And kind of all of the number stuff, the hard stuff. But how much time are you really taking to understand what's happening inside of their head? That person, that executive VP that everybody's looking out on the outside and it seems like this person has the perfect life. You have the perfect life because you're making a lot of money. You live in a great city. You've got an amazing house. You drive a awesome German luxury car or whatever luxury car. You don't have to, when you go out for meals, you go to the best places here, there, everywhere because you're constantly entertaining dining clients. Well, that's the thing that you see. But what's going on inside of that person's mind? What's keeping them up at night? What's motivating them? What's driving them? Where are they in their life? What is happening around them that is going to allow that person to either work harder, work less, be fearful, be energized? It's all of the psychographic type of information, data. What's happening inside that you can't see? A lot of the other stuff on the demographics you can see on the outside, but what's going on the inside? That's the stuff that is the most important stuff for your ideal client. That's the stuff that keeps them up at night. That's the stuff that motivates them. Are you in touch with that? Have you thought about that? If you haven't, that's the second pillar. It's definitely the second pillar. And then the third thing is something that will probably seem obvious after I tell you, but if you don't already know, the third thing that is the third secret that's going to help your ideal client appear now is the fact that that person was probably you a couple years ago, right? They're not far behind where you are today. What you learned recently is still relevant for that person. It's the type of music that's playing in the restaurant when you go in. It's the type of wine that is served with your dinner or not, or the soft drink, whatever the case may be. When you begin to think about the service and or the product, not only have you thought about the demographics, you thought about the psychographics, but you've also realized like you're not that far ahead of where that person wants to be. So when you can talk to those three things and you can show that you have experienced not just the successes, it's really important also that you've experienced some trials and tribulations along the way, because that's going to be the value add, the additional value add that you can give to that person who is your ideal client that you want to appear and is appearing now because you're talking to the demographics, to the psychographics, and where they are at this point in their life. And you know why you can talk about that? Because you weren't there very long ago. Amazing, right? So these are the three special secrets that I want you to really understand. Now, of course, you're going to continue to fight through, just like I fought through knowing these things. I still fought through my own demons because I was at the office and I wanted to talk to anybody and everybody. And I had to get to a point where I realized, like, this is the person that I want to talk to. This is the person that I want to serve. Not that I can serve, but I want to serve. So I fought this internal struggle that was constantly going on. Oh no, Billy, help everybody. Do this, do that. It's hard, right? Especially when you've kind of started in one place and are currently in a different place from your socioeconomic, from your different culture, different continent, right? In my case. So these things were going on. But then when I looked at it and I got crystal clear on not just the demographic, the psychographic, but also where that person was in their journey, it helped me in my particular instance to build a private equity firm that raised 8 figures of capital in a very short time from a very, very exclusive set of investors, less than 30, less than 25. Also helped me recognize what are the specific types of opportunities that I wanted to bring into my portfolio. When I got crystal clear on the types of things that I wanted, and that helped to have at a certain point over 450 different entities that were paying in every single month, right? Differing levels of ownership and all that kind of stuff. But the fact of the matter is there was an exponential amount of growth once I got crystal clear on the 3 special secrets that I just shared with you. It took me a while to figure them out. I want you to figure this out much faster than I did. And you know what? Even with those things that were happening, the most important thing I recognize, and I want you to recognize, is that I knew who I wanted to serve. And I was able to then start to go out and build different systems to be able to share messages with them, with you. That's why you're here, right? That's one of the things you're here. So you think about even now today when you're listening to the podcast, when you take this information and you go from theory, you put it into practice, you make it practical, tactical action. That's also going to help you as you start to put your systems in place to be able to not only attract, you've now identified, you can start to attract and then eventually serve your ideal client, right? That's what I want for you, because I know that that's going to help you get closer to the point in your life where you are truly controlling your time. You are investing with the ones that you love the most, where you want and when you want. I really, really want this episode to go from theory to practice for you. So take today's episode, share it with family, share it with friends. And you know what? While you're doing that, I'm going to be here preparing for the next episode. So until then, go ahead and make it a great day. And I want to say thank you very, very much. Freedom! Today's conversation was sponsored by the Billy Keels Advisory Program. If you're looking to make your 9-to-5 optional and need some help, just go to billykeels.com/advising. Once again, that's billykeels.com/advising.